is good.
For the moment.
Because a lot of people can't. No, it's all going to get more expensive. The Chancellor is being urged now to set out an emergency budget to help millions across the UK who face being plunged into poverty and hardship as a result of the cost of living crisis.
Yeah, in fact, one SNP MP has called on Rishi Sunak to help people with rising energy bills with what she calls a more generous grant.
Oh, so in the meantime, what can we all do to save money as that cost of living rises? Let's talk to Helen Dewdney, who's consumer champion at The Complaining Cow, which is interesting.
Yeah, you'll have to explain the complaining cow first.
I am the complaining cow.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. That's fine, as long as you own it.
So you're a feisty woman who stands up for your rights.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
OK,
Absolutely.
so what can we do? What can we do to chip away at some of these extra costs?
Well, there are a few things so that when you're shopping, so for example, if you're shopping online, there are cashback sites. So there's Top Cashback, Quidco, Kickstart, so that when you do your shopping, you go through one of those cashback sites and you can get anything between sort of 1%, 2% and 20% off what you're buying. Then you've got discount sites, so you can download Honey, the app. That will also give you discounts on things. So that they're there if you're buying the things anyway. I'm not saying, go out and buy these things, but if you're shopping anyway, these are the ways that will get you the discounts. So you've got, and the comparison sites so that you actually do your research before you buy anything.
It's dodgy with discount codes. When I'm shopping online, I always then do a search for discount coupons. About 70% of the time, they don't seem to work. But when they do work, they're substantial.
Yes, yeah. So you have to look for them.
Is that how you get the codes? You just go on...
Google it.
Just Google them?
Just Google it and you'll get different ones, but Honey will actually just do it for you. If
Honey,
you download
it's called.
Honey, yeah. So if you actually go onto the site, it will search for all the discount codes, which will then work.
Right.
So there are some great apps and websites out there. Petrol Prices is a great app that I've just discovered recently, which compares the petrol prices. You put in the postcode of where you're driving.
So you can find the cheapest one to go to?
Find the cheapest one. And I have to say, I'm going to Taunton next week, and I looked it up the last couple of days, and within 1 or 2 miles, there was a difference of 20p a litre.
That is a lot.
Supermarkets. So once you've filled that up, that's actually quite a few pounds.
Oh, yes.
Even by my maths.
Yeah.
So that's a great app to download, particularly if you're travelling far. You can do, whether it's this end or that end. I was comparing London and Taunton, obviously. So, yeah, that's a great one to do. There's another website, Latest Deals, and that you can get free stuff from there. Got a mascara there last week.
Oh, right.
But it also shows you places where you can fill out surveys for free. You can get reviews. You can get products to review.
Right.
So there's a lot of things out there if you know where to look.
What about these sites? Because I can't think what I was buying the other day, but I bought something and it came back immediately saying, oh, you can get 20% off your next purchase, or 50% or whatever it was, if you join our scheme, which was then... But when you look at the small print, it was £15 a month to join that. So
that's a big problem, is you find yourself signing up to things.
So you've got to be careful, haven't you?
And you actually need to go through your bank statement every sort to see what you actually have forgotten that you're subscribed to.
Yes.
Or the only way you can get something is to subscribe, and then you think, I'll remember in a month's time to unsubscribe from it, and you don't remember to do that, and you go on paying them.
Yeah, the thing to do, right, is if you get like Taste Card and those kinds of things, you get your discount off meals and that for a month, is to actually cancel it at the same time. I cancel it at the same time.
So start it and then immediately cancel it.
You can do that, can you?
Yeah. For most things you can. Some might be more difficult, but it will usually say that you can still run it, because otherwise you will forget, unless you do a reminder on your phone or a calendar. But that's the trick, is to actually make sure that you do cancel.
And have you also found that the streaming sites like Amazon Prime or Netflix even, sometimes to actually get a particular movie or particular TV series, they require you to subscribe again to something else, which is obviously under their umbrella.
Well, that's on, that's on Prime, isn't it?
That's on Prime. It does it a lot. They're sort of reinventing streaming sites all the time. And I found that I was subscribing to 2 or 3 that I've only ever watched one programme of, which is ridiculous. You need to go through and... maybe we don't all need the streaming sites. Maybe they were a luxury of the past.
Well, that's it. I think you just have to sort of choose which one. Just be careful of where you're subscribing and doing it. The Amazon free Prime that you sometimes get for a month, that you can certainly cancel at the same time and still get your 30 days.
What about our everyday stuff, supermarkets and the like? Is there a way of getting a better deal? Or, I mean, it's like the old days. You used to go at the end of the day and get the stuff that was labelled up, you know, the sort of cheaper stuff that was labelled up. But, of course, the supermarkets are open forever now, so you don't know quite when's the best time to go.
No, I think people have mixed views about when the best time to go, usually sort of early evening, and that's when you'll get your yellow stickers.
Yeah.
But it is a case of also you can now compare supermarkets. So you can go on the sites and compare, actually, you know, I've got 2 shops. If you're lucky enough to have 2 shops near, maybe I'll go and get something from there and I'll get something from there. So it's a case of really budgeting and being really careful and actually planning your meals so that you're wasting less food. As a country, we waste a huge amount of food. So if you actually plan your meals for the following week, then you actually...
I wonder if they'd tell you, if your local supermarket, and you went to them and said, well, what time of day or what particular day do you actually, you know, put the reduced stickers on? I wonder if they'd tell you.
I think it probably depends how nice and helpful they
Yeah, I think,
certainly ask.
I think they might. You've got to be a bit careful because what always really irritates me, watch my language, something bad nearly slipped out, is you sometimes you see in the supermarkets, you know, and they go, oh, buy this family pack and it's only whatever. When you work it out, it's more expensive. Sometimes what they mark up as a discount actually costs you more.
Yeah, you do have to be careful. You know, the buy 2 get 1 free and all of that kind of stuff. When if it's a bigger one or it's a smaller one, you actually sort of have to work out the weight, get your calculator out on the phone and work it out as to what it is. What may seem like a good deal isn't necessarily a good deal.
Yeah, I have to say, I always look at the price per unit or the price.
Me too.
Per...
Yes, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Not all of the supermarkets display that, but most do. No.
Yeah. There's a lot of people struggling, of course, to pay for anything. But for those people, a lot of people emailing in this morning saying, you know, they're on 25, 30 grand. So they're still struggling, but they have still got a bit of money. If you've got a little bit of cash where you can buy in advance, does that help? This is my own tip here, because things like dishwasher tablets. If you go in various supermarkets, there's always an offer, or every few weeks there's a really good half-price offer on dishwasher tablets. So I always stock up at that point.
Yeah, I think it is those kinds of little tricks and hacks that you know, you're always going to need toilet paper. You're always going to need those kinds of things. If it's on offer, get it.
If it sounds like a good offer, yeah.
Yeah.
Coffee often is.
Oh, is it?
They often discount coffee for about a week, yeah. Then that's the time to buy several jars.
And laundry tablets and all that sort of thing. There's ways to do it. Really good to talk to you this morning. Thank you.
Well, one tip is if you stockpile or if you buy big amounts of loo paper, is you've got to put it somewhere.
This is true.
I bought this enormous box of loo paper once and it's stuck in the hallway forever because I didn't have a cupboard space to put it in.
Oh, but that was nice with the visitors.
Yeah, no, but it's very reassuring to know you've got
yourself.
lots of loo paper, isn't it?
I tell you what, if you've got a freezer for those yellow sticker items, I buy bread and things, yellow sticker, chuck it in the freezer.
Do you know then when the yellow sticker goes on for your local supermarket? Do you know when the good time is?
No, I don't. It's only if I have
I've
to
got
catch
one local M&S and I know the good time for that.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating following the sticker lady round.
Yeah.
You can follow her around the supermarket.
Save yourself a fortune.
Yeah, you can, a lot.
I'll tell you what, I'm being a proper northerner. I have short arms and long pockets.
Is
as
that
we
right?
say, so I like a bargain.
Yeah.
So I can grab
we all
one.
do. And now's the time to really value a bargain.
Yeah, thank heavens.